Hello friends, welcome to this channel. My name is Sachin Chauhan and we are going to discuss about C programming language in this video lecture series. Before starting the lecture, let's understand what the basic C is about. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about the differences between compiler, interpreter, the process of compilation and some other basic syntax of C. Okay, so let's start with this coding. So first, what exactly C is? So C is an programming language. But before learning about C, what exactly mean by language? Okay, so in human being, we use a language to communicate with each other. Like that, we use a language to communicate with our system or with our computer called as a programming language. Okay, so the name of first programming language which we are going to learn is C, so that's why it's C programming language. Okay, so this C language is developed at AT's and T's Bell Laboratory. Okay, this Bell Laboratory is situated in USA and this language is developed in 1972 by a person called as Dennis Ritchie. This is the basic knowledge. Okay, let's move to the another slide. Why to learn C today? Because if you are an engineer or you know a basic about computers, there are many languages which are at high end we are using today, like C hash, Java, C sharp, C++. Okay, so why this unnecessary burden to learn C first and then learn other languages? Because before learning this C, isn't that possible to learn high level languages? Yes, that might be possible, but it's a complicated task. So, what are the benefits of C today? Okay, as we are learning C, that means it has some important in our life. So, we are going to discuss some advantages of C. So, first advantage is try to learn a simple language first and then move to the complex language. Okay, so as we are saying, a simple language, so C is nothing but a simple language first. That's why we are learning C first, then we are moving to the another high level languages, okay, like C++, C hash or Java. Okay, there is another advantage of C also, that many operating systems are used or have used C to make themselves. Okay, that means the programmers of Windows, Unix and like Linux or Linux, they used C to form their compilers or to form their operating systems. Okay, then when it comes to the performance, C is the best in current languages, so speed of execution of C is great. Then work in limited amount of memory, C works in a limited amount of memory, that's why C is been used today also. Okay, next one is a gaming framework. Okay, when we use a word game, that means there is a lot of graphics, then there is a lot of space. Okay, and there is a lot of performance issue is there. Okay, as C is a great performance based language and C also works in a limited amount of memory, that's why it is the best choice of programmer to form gaming or to run a gaming frameworks. Okay, then the last one is the interaction with the hardware devices is done through C. Okay, how this can be done? So as we use the word high level languages, then there comes C, then there comes assembly level languages, and then there comes zeros and one, that is the binary level language. Okay, so C is easy for the hardware device to understand, and C has the many functionalities which we can use on hardware devices. Okay, so the basic steps of learning C, that includes alphabets and digits and the special symbols. First we need to learn this kind of data, then we need to move to this kind of data. Okay, then the instructions, and the last one is the programs. Okay, means first we have to learn three steps of C. Okay, then we're going to move to the programming section of C language. So in this video lecture we are going to discuss about alphabets, digits and special symbols. In the next lecture we discuss about constants, then variables, then keywords. This both forms and instructions, and the lot of instructions when merged together called as a program. So at last we are going to run a program. Okay, now the difference between compilers and interpreters. Now exactly, compiler and interpreter are two different things. When we say the word compiler, that means a source code of a program. That means the entire program, okay, it's converted into binary code. The entire program converted into binary code. But when we use the word interpreted, okay, so interpreter does something differently with the coding than compiler. Interpreter reads one line and then execute that line. Interpreter reads one line and then execute one line. What is the advantage of this? So this requires less space or less memory, and this requires more memory. This requires more memory. Now binary code is also referred as machine code, executables, and object file. Okay, this is something different, we don't need to understand that one yet. We are going to discuss it later on also. The next advantage is program speed is fast. The compiler program speed becomes is fast. Program speed is slow as it has all the functions, all the data needs to run a program having in a simple space of a memory. But interpreter, when it runs a file, it has a single line to execute. It has only one line to execute. It doesn't have another kind of data. It needs to wait to have some data from the user. That's why interpreters are slow and the compilers are fast. One time execution, we have already said, a program directly into the binary code. Then the examples of compilers are C, C++, and the examples of interpreter is a basic language, is nothing but an interpreter. Now let's learn the steps of execution of a program. Actually we are discussing this because later on we need to use the concepts like preprocessor, compiler, assembler, linker. We are going to clear it in a first lecture only. That will help us to understand the latter programs better way. So when there is a source code file, as it is a program of C, we are going to save it by the .c file. Then there is a first step called as a preprocessor. It happens. What preprocessor does? Preprocessor replaces the hash defined macro, hash include files, conditional compilations, and the comments or if dep. These are all the preprocessor files. What exactly preprocessor mean? We are going to discuss in a later lecture. In a separate video lecture, we are going to discuss it. So preprocessor does all these things and convert that .c file into .i file, and this .i file is nothing but an expanded source code. Okay, now then there is a second step called as a compiler. What compiler does? Compiler converts the .i file into the .s file, that is a sample s file. Okay, and that is nothing but an assembly code file. Okay, so compiler converts the source code into assembly code. Assembly codes are nothing but an machine instructions, like when we are going to do addition, so it forms like sum a plus b. So this kind of instruction called as an assembly level language instruction, and when we are using the high level language, we are going to say it as an a plus b. Okay, so this is the difference. A plus b is nothing but a command, but when it used as an assembly level language, it has to be like this. Okay, then there is a third step called as an assembler, which converts the .s file into .o file, that is called as an object file. Okay, so this is an assembler step. Fine. Then there is a linker step. What linker step does? It converts .o file into .executable file. It converts .o file into .executable file. This sample O is nothing but an binary level file. Huh? First understand this. This is an binary file. As this sum a comma b is an assembly level language instruction, it converts this assembly level language instruction into some file like this. It is a binary file. Binary file means only zeros and ones, called as a machine level language also. So this converts this assembly instruction into the binary file. Then there is a linker section. This is the step number 4, or the phase number 4, it converts O into .exe, and .exe is nothing but an executable file, means it is ready to execute now. It is ready to show you the output. Okay, and then last one is an loader phase. When there is a loader phase, that means it loads these instructions, zeros and ones, this instruction or this executable file into your CPU, where it loads the file into your CPU. Okay, that means now CPU performs an operation. As CPU understands only machine level language, that's why we need to use this file. Okay, that is a binary level file, and the humans or the human understand the file in a English level language statements or in a certain language which they are communicate. That's why here there is a high level language and here there is a low level language. So these are the processing of a compiler, or the program execution steps are like this. Now what exactly meaning of a C token? Okay, so consider example of a paragraph. The paragraph has words and the punctuations in it. They have words and punctuations in it. Okay, so each word and each punctuation become a token. Each word and each punctuation become a token for a general language. So token is what exactly meaning of a token is? So token is nothing but an small units of a paragraph or of a language. So there are 6 type of tokens is there. Okay, so program has keywords. Okay, you don't need to understand this right now, we are going to discuss it later on, but just have look into it. The keywords, then there are identifiers called as variables, then there are constants, then there are strings, then there are symbols, and then there are operator. We are going to discuss each and every one in later phase. So C character set is there. The first step to understand the program is to learn the C character set first, then learn about variables, constants like that, and then learn about instructions, and the last step is to execute your program. So first step we are learning here C character set. C character set has any alphabet, then there are digits, and then there are special symbols. But any alphabet means what? So alphabet here from A to Z, that is capital A to Z, then there are small a to Z, then there are small a to Z. This capital A to Z and small a to Z are different. Then there are digits from 0 to 9 digits are there. Then there are certain kind of special symbols. Each special symbols of your keyboard is there. This all combines becomes your C character set. So to write a program you need to understand this first. Hope you like this video and understood all the concepts of C language basics. In tomorrow's lecture or in next lecture we are going to discuss about basic C program or a hello world program. Then we are going to discuss about variables. Okay, fine. Thank you.